Today on BRStv we have overflow boxes. Overflow boxes are designed to get water safely from the tank down to the sump. They typically have teeth on them to keep the fish and other critters from getting sucked in.
This is an external overflow that hangs on the side of the tank. They are easy to install and work by creating a siphon that takes the water over the edge of the aquarium. While they are relatively reliable, there is an inherent risk that they can break siphon during a power outage or other failure.
If the siphon does break, it's likely that a significant amount of water is going to overflow onto your floor. As long as you catch it in a reasonable amount of time, for some people this will mean a wet carpet. For others it could mean ruining an expensive hardwood floor. If you're out of town frequently, it's a bit more of a concern because it could go unnoticed for a significant period of time and possibly be pretty detrimental to the tank.
CPR does make an external overflow that uses a small pump to maintain and start the siphon. This is a nice backup safety feature, but the best option is an internal overflow like this one here. There are tanks that already have internal overflows installed called Reef ready tanks, but if you don't have one, you can install your own overflow with a box like this.
These are much safer because the teeth of the overflow box are below the edge of the tank, which means we don't have to maintain a siphon to get water over the edge of the tank and down to the sump. So the risk of overflowing is significantly reduced.
They are a bit harder to install. We need to drill a hole for the bulkhead in the back of the tank. This may seem scary, but it's actually pretty easy. We're going to move the tank outside and show you just how easy drilling a tank can be.
For this we'll need a drill. A corded electric drill like this one works best because they typically spin faster than a cordless drill. We need a diamond-coated drill bit, also known as a hole saw, a drill guide, some plumber's putty, masking tape, towel, gloves, and some safety glasses. Keep in mind we are working with power tools, water, and glass, all of which have some inherent safety risks. If you're uncomfortable with this, call one of your local fish stores and most of them will drill your tank for a reasonable fee.
I've drawn a circle around where we want the hole and assembled the drill guide. The next step is to roll out some plumber's putty and wrap it around the drill guide about 1 inch out. This will be our water dam. We'll be using water to cool the drill bit during the process.
Alternatively, if you're doing this outside or in an area where you don't mind getting significant amounts of water on the floor like a garage, you can just skip the putty and have a friend hold a hose on it for you. Obviously tell them to make sure not to spray the drill or you might get an unwanted shock.
We will be using masking tape on the inside of the tank. This will often catch the glass disc once the hole is complete, but it can also help make a clean hole. We're going to throw a towel on the inside of the tank to catch water and possibly the glass disc if it falls. Once we are done, be careful with the towel because it will likely have some tiny glass shards in it. Let's get to it.
Because we're outside, we're just going to skip the putty and just use the hose. Pull the drill up the guide about 1 inch or so, start the drill, and slowly slide the drill down until it hits the glass. Do not push down, just let the weight of the drill do all the work. If you are using the water dam method, make sure you keep adding water. On a smaller tank like this, it should only take about 1 minute or 2. Once you think you're getting close, try and pull the drill up slightly so the full weight of the drill isn't on the glass. This will help you make a clean hole when you're finished.
This really is pretty easy if you have the proper tools. We also sell this red drill guide with a suction cup. I personally like the other type better, but this works good if you have to drill a tank on its side like this.
It is possible to do without a drill guide, but there's a learning curve to it, so I might try it on a tank you don't care about first, like maybe one of Reed's. Doing it freehand, you'll want to bring the bit down at a 45-degree angle, so just the edge catches. Once you have a small line drilled, you can lower the bit down so the entire edge is cutting. If you bring the drill bit down parallel to the glass, it's very likely that you'll catch an edge and scratch the hell out of your tank. Well, not super difficult. I wouldn't try drilling freehand for my first time on an expensive tank.
Now all we need to do is install our bulkhead and silicone the overflow box onto the tank. Before you silicone the box on, it is a good idea to assemble your plumbing and double check your plans, because it might be hard or impossible to change once you silicone the box on. To silicone the box, all you need to do is run a line of silicone along the edge of the box and press the box into place. Once you have it in place, take your finger, run it along the edge to wipe any excess silicone, and get a nice looking seal.
At this point, you should give the silicone 24 hours to cure and then fill the tank to check for leaks. It's important that the overflow box doesn't leak. If it does, it would allow the tank to slowly drain down into the sump during a power outage or pump failure, which could make a mess, damage your house, as well as be bad for exposed corals.
We also have these lids available, which help keep livestock from entering the overflow. These are nice, but they do have the tendency to warp a bit from humidity, so don't expect them to be perfect.
That wraps up today's episode. If you found this information valuable, give us a thumbs up and subscribe.